Okay, so let's just dive right in. You've probably heard the term data science thrown around a lot, right? It's one of those huge buzzwords. But what does it actually mean? Well, today we're going to cut through all the hype and figure out what's really going on.
All right, take a look at this number. 2.5 quintillion hours. It's a ridiculously huge number. So big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. But what is it?
That's how many bytes of data we, all of us, across the whole planet, are creating. Every single day. And with this explosion of the Internet of Things, all those smart devices, from watches to refrigerators, that number is just going up, and fast.
And all of that data has created what we call the data deluge. Seriously, we are swimming in an absolute flood of information, and figuring out how to deal with it is one of the biggest challenges of our time. So where's this tidal wave of information coming from? Well, honestly, it's coming from you. It's the photos you post on social media, the shows you binge watch, the stuff you browse online. But it's also coming from places you might not even think about. Your car, your smart TV, maybe even your coffee machine. They're all talking, all generating just an incredible amount of data. It wasn't that long ago that data was pretty simple. Think of it like a neat little library, all organized in spreadsheets. That's what we call structured data. But today, most of the data we're creating is unstructured. It's a chaotic flood of photos, posts, videos, all stuff that old-school tools just can't handle. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. We've got all this raw information, this digital chaos. So how do we make any sense of it? How do we find the important signals that are hidden inside all that noise?
And that, right there, is where data science comes in. It's the whole field that was built to answer that exact question, to find meaning in the noise.
Now, it's really important to get this. Data science isn't just about the data itself. It's about a process. It's basically the art of pulling out genuinely useful insights from all that raw information to solve really tricky problems and, help businesses make way smarter choices.
The main goal is to go way beyond what's obvious. It's like being a treasure hunter, trying to surface those hidden patterns and surprising connections that the old, simpler methods would have just completely missed.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but where does the rubber meet the road? Let's take a look at where data science is actually making a difference in the real world right now.
Let's start with the company you definitely know, Walmart. As the biggest retailer in the world, they are sitting on an absolute mountain of sales data. And they use data science to dig through that mountain to find some pretty wild things about how we shop.
Okay, get this. This is probably the most famous story in data science. By digging through their data, Walmart's analysts found this totally bizarre connection. Right before a hurricane is about to hit, sales of strawberry Pop-Tarts go up by 7 times. I mean, who would ever think to even look for that? And this shows you the power of the whole thing. They just let the computers mine through past sales data. The system spotted this weird but true connection, and now, when a hurricane is on the way, Walmart knows to stock up on Pop-Tarts to meet that demand. It's pretty genius. Or just think about Netflix. Old-school TV just broadcasted a show at a certain time and hoped for the best. Netflix does the exact opposite. It studies your personal viewing habits, what you watch, when you hit pause, what you go back and rewatch, to create a totally personalized experience. This didn't just help them recommend shows, it's how they flipped the whole entertainment industry upside down. Of course, this also means they're collecting a ton of our personal data to make it work, which brings up all sorts of questions about privacy, doesn't it?
So, how do these data scientists actually find these incredible insights? Well, the best way to think about it is to imagine them as a detective. They don't just look at data, they investigate it. And hey, it's not just me saying that. The source material we're looking at puts it perfectly. When faced with a really tough question, a data scientist basically becomes a detective, looking for clues and trying to piece together a story from the evidence.
And this whole investigation follows a pretty clear path. It starts with data exploration. That's kind of like the detective arriving at the crime scene, just getting a feel for everything. Then comes data wrangling, which is like cleaning up the evidence. Honestly, this can be the messiest part. And finally, you have data modeling. This is where they take all the clues and use powerful algorithms to build their case and create a model that can actually predict what's going to happen next.
Now, you might be thinking this is all just happening behind the scenes at giant companies. But the truth is, data science is already this huge, invisible force shaping your everyday life, whether you realize it or not.
Every single time your inbox automatically filters out a spam message, yep, that's data science. When Facebook suggests a friend you might know, that's data science.
The traffic predictions on Google Maps that help you get home faster. You guessed it. Even that alert you get from your bank about a weird charge on your card, all powered by data science.
So you see, it's not some far-off futuristic idea. It's here, right now, quietly shaping your digital world. And while that's amazing, it also brings up some really big questions about privacy and fairness, right? So, since it's already changing how we shop, communicate, and live, the only real question left is, what on earth will it predict next?